I've compiled another list again. It's a center column from here. I just things go better when I compile a list. I can kind of keep my thoughts together because sometimes I forget stuff that been thinking of for hours and hours. Said, yeah, I'm gonna make a video, and then when I get turn my phone on to make a video, well, what the hell was I thinking? You know, what you trying to figure it out? But anyway, I'm gonna start off with this Waste Management Open. It's a golf game we've got over here in Scottsdale. Yeah, again, Scottsdale is a city for the rich people. That's kind of the way the city has set itself up. If you don't know the area, you know the Valley of the Sun. That's what Scottsdale. There are lots of poor people in Scottsdale, I'm sure, but you know a lot of the real fancy stores and stuff are over there. They have a lot of the major events of like this golf game, like that Barrett Jackson car auction, you know, where they got the real high end cars, that type of thing. But anyway, this this Waste Management Golf Open. Um, Unless if some chick wants me to go over there, if she buys me lots of alcohol, I'll go. And if you know she drives over there, maybe we can ride taxi or something over there. Maybe I'd hop in a Waymo if it's with somebody else, and I was having a date on alcohol. But like that's very unlikely to happen. It's unlikely I'd get over there. But if some chick wants to do a YouTube video with me, you know, where we just go over there, watch a couple hours of the game, and go home, I'd probably do that. I can stand to watch golf for a couple hours. I don't know. If it's your game, it's your game. If it's not, it's not. Well, I used the number of sports that I used to like to watch until that one guy was taking a knee during the national anthem. I've covered that quite a number of times, and that just so turned me off to any type of sports that I just can't watch it anymore. I have to think back to this guy taking a knee during the national anthem, and just can't watch it. Of course, that's kind of tainted me for a bunch of stuff. Let's see. There's South Mountain. Now, South Mountain is just east of the Australia south of me. That's that major mountain range that runs through Phoenix. To me, it seems like it's kind of part of the same chain as Australis because it's kind of in the same position. But anyway, there was a park down there. The TV news had covered it about 4 or 5 months ago. I looked it up on Google Maps and it looked interesting. But I can't remember the exact name of the place, so I don't know quite how to search it on Google Maps or how to get back down there. Now, if some chick is into hiking mountains and familiar with any of the mountains through the park through South Central Phoenix, say let me know and we can do a collab video. Not necessarily anything exciting or romantic. Well, exciting, and in fact, we'd be hiking a mountain, but nothing romantic or extracurricular, not necessarily. Just saying, if you're familiar with those and want somebody, you know, to tag along with you, let me know. If you just remember the name of any of the parks for South Mountain, so I can search them on, Google Maps. Let me know. Just post them here, the name, and I'll look them up. Even if you're not interested in having me, go along with you. Let's see, tag team. I've covered that a number of times. Now, what a tag team is, maybe some chick is, has a YouTube channel, or maybe some chick just wants to help me make a tag team video. That's where, let's say we go out at night, catch the nice neon from Central Phoenix, like along Central, Van Buren, McDowell. There's a number of restaurants and stuff down there that have some nice neon. But what you do, you find a free parking spot down there. You park and let the other person walk for a block. You drop them off, and then you find a free. The Goodwill is a Goodwill down there, like around 3rd Avenue and Van Buren, something like that. Because I've parked in there once or twice. That's free parking back behind that Goodwill. You drop somebody off, hit up a free parking behind the place, and let the person meet up with you, and then you take and drop them off. You drop the other individual off. Let's say you drop him off at McDowell and Central, and let them walk a mile down to maybe Central and Buckeye. Oh, that would be quite a ways. They'd have to be really athletic to do that. I'm just saying, you park and let them walk a little bit, and then they park and let you walk for a little bit. All the time you're taking, getting stuff on your camera and getting stuff on their camera. Now, we would have to know each other before we do something like that. We'd have to trust each other that we're not going to just take off and leave somebody down there, that we're not just going to steal their equipment or their vehicle, whatever. you get what I mean. You got to know somebody and trust somebody. So we'd probably do a few other things before we do a tag team video. We'd want to hit up a few other places first and do some cold out videos, like the White Tank Park out there. We'd want to hit that up first, and then the Estrellas, and do a few other things first, and then do the tag team video to know that we weren't gonna take one of us wasn't gonna take off of the other stuff. Let's see. We got 3 more. I need 3 more subscribers. I think 500 is a magic number if we can get hyped. I'm almost there. It surprised me that yesterday I got about 4 or 5 new subscribers. I don't know what I've done different. Everything's pretty much the same, except I've done some more serious meditation. Let's see. His job. Now, a guy had called me yesterday. He said his neighbor of his had a restaurant. It's in the valley here. It's not here in Avondale. It's about a mile drive over there. The guy called me mid-afternoon yesterday, and I said, well, look, I don't really want to go there. I prefer to go over there on Monday. If I need any parts, I could pick them up local there and then come back. I wouldn't have to be driving over there, diagnosing the problem, going back home, and then coming back early Monday morning to fix it. That way I could just go get the parts and fix it. I have no idea what the problem is with it, if it has a problem. And what they said, or the one guy that's known me for a while, he said it's one of his neighbors that had a problem. But anyway, he said this place had been shut down for a couple of months. I don't know if it's exactly what they've done, maybe renovation or something or whatever. But anyway, they just turned the walk-in back on. The walk-in wasn't cold enough. Now, what I'm thinking they probably just didn't give it time enough to cool down. It's cool right now, but not super cold. So maybe they just didn't give it time to cool down. Now, the guy was supposed to call me back later yesterday with some contact information, and he didn't. So I'm thinking either it went ahead and worked, or maybe the guy was in such a big hurry he called somebody else. I don't know. So this is a guy, I really don't know this guy. But anyway, I told him, I said, I'll call you. Well, he's supposed to give me the contact information. I'm going to touch base with him probably about an hour or so. It's like 7 now. That would put it right about 8 o'clock. Decent time to call somebody and see if he needs me to look at it. So I'm guessing it's probably working. Either they just didn't give it time enough to cool down, or the guy found somebody else to look at. Now, I could have made it over there yesterday and said, well, look, it's working, and just charge him for a call, even though I didn't do anything. I could have done that, but like I said, mid-afternoon, I want to have time. I'd prefer to get over there early in the morning so that I've got time to diagnose a problem. I don't get over there, work with something, and then next thing it's dark and I'm driving home in the dark, and I don't like to drive home in the dark. Okay. Hey, Reef, I need 3 more subscribers. I want to get to 500 so I can start getting hyped. If anybody wants to hype my videos, if somebody's got some ideas on that one video that goes nuclear, hey, let me know. Of course, I need to get out some of those 2. I need to do that tribute to Adam the Woo. Get out, the Cowpuncher and do Hobo Joe. I've been waiting to do that. I've been wanting to do that for the past couple of weeks. I just haven't got out there. To hit up Cowpuncher, and then let me tell you what those are if you haven't watched my other videos. Now, Cowpuncher, the only thing out there is a sign that's like about a couple acre piece of bare land at the corner of. Well, I'm not going to tell you where it's at. I'll tell you where it's at when I get out there. Hobo Joe is down in downtown Buckeye. You can search Hobo Joe on Google Maps, and Hobo Joe will come up. So you can, Adam the Woo hit up Hobo Joe. He's got a couple of videos from Hobo Joe. The sign on Hobo Joe said it was an art project for somebody that had worked for Disney. Now, what I remember back, there was a local meat company that had bought Hobo Joe and put him up as average. Well, there was some debate whether Hobo Joe, which is a piece of artwork, Hobo Joe was advertisement for this meat company. Now, a number of years ago, some type of group let's make a public funding type thing, crowdfunding group got together and bought Hobo Joe and then put him in it's a big fiberglass statue. Now, the story I remember in the paper was that Hobo Joe was an advertising thing for a chain of restaurants called Hobo Joe. Like Bob's Big Boy, the guy with the big hamburger out there. If you remember from the 70s, they had that big old gas flame out there, but they made him stop doing it when they thought he was going to run out of natural gas. Now, Cowpuncher, that was a restaurant out there, And one guy had built it, another guy had bought it, was buying it, and had gotten a dispute with one of his customers, and the customer came back and set fire to the place. It all burned down. This is back in the early 80s. Now, the only thing out there is a sign. Adam the Woo had looked at the sign, not knowing the backstory. I posted a story, for Adam the Woo after he'd done it, and said, "Adam, I got a video for you." I titled it, for Adam the Woo. It's been 4 or 5 years, so it's been that's one of my very very early. That's not exactly what got me started into doing YouTube videos, but certainly one it got me. I think that's probably my first urbex, semi-urbex videos. Anyway, you can credit or blame Adam the Woo for my YouTube career. So I kind of owe something to Adam the Woo to do a tribute video to him. First, I guess they haven't figured out what happened to him, but just before Christmas, he had passed away in his Central Florida home. There's lots of tribute videos that other people that had known him, that had done videos with him. If you search her on YouTube, you'll find him. And I love the guy. I would have loved to have got a little bit better at YouTube and done a collab video with Adam the Woo. I don't know quite what we would do because our subjects are quite a bit different. But I'm sure we could sit down and find something that we could both find interesting and make a good video out of it. Anyway, I'll say das Leben ist ein Abenteuer, c'est la vie, ciao, and auf Wiedersehen, goodbye, con Dios.